ladies, gentlemen, and anyone who's ever talked to Whiskey 6 X-Ray Radio Lima 4. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Jokenet here on the 146895 repeater. I am KE8PBL, your net control for the evening. My name is Nemo, November Echo Mike Oscar, and I am located in Denmark Township. Before I go any further, is there anyone that needs this repeater for emergency or priority traffic? All right, nothing heard. If anybody does need the repeater for emergency or priority traffic, please break in at any time with break engine call sign. We will gladly concede the repeater for the duration of your emergency. Again, this is the Wednesday Night Jokenet here on the 146895 repeater. This is a directed net, and all traffic should come through net control. Everyone with a valid amateur radio license is encouraged to participate. No club affiliation is required. And for everybody who's listening to us on YouTube or other via digital means, that's great. We appreciate you being around too. And the scanner folks as well. I know we got a couple of those out there too. All right. This net meets every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on this repeater. And the purpose of this net is to have fun, making each other laugh, coming up with crazy punchlines for this week's joke. This is a 3-round net, so please stick around or you may miss something. Before I go down the list of regular check-ins, let me just break for time, and then I got one more thing to say. All right, big thank you to Tom, NHCT, for making this repeater available to us and available for public use. Obviously, you can get to this repeater via RF, and it has a standard offset and a PL tone of 141.3 and an Echolink node of W8IJC-L. Please treat the repeater like it's got a 2-minute timeout and allow for clean breaks between transmissions. Other than that, let's bring it in, all you ham radio operators. We're good to go. Let me go down the list of regular check-ins. We'll see who all's here tonight. Starting out my top of the list, as usual, I've got KC8LAR. Jeff, are you with us this evening, sir?
C8LAR, present.
All right, not scribbling fast enough for myself. We'll reach out to the campground. Let's see if Dan's around. N8DRL.
N8DRL, I'd be Echolink.
All right, Dan, thanks for joining us tonight via Echolink. Appreciate that, and hopefully your day was going smooth. Let's all go out to Andover, then we'll see if Ken's around. KE8YBN.
Yeah, K8YBN, we're here. Thank you. I did that.
All right, KE8YBN. Ken, thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate you being here as always. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather we've been having. How about Wayne, Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet?
Good evening, Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet.
Very good to hear you on the radio, Wayne. Hope that POTA stuff has been going good for you. We'll get to that in a little bit. And in the meantime, we'll go out to Dave, K8TIE in Cleveland Heights. Are you with us tonight?
King 8, Terra Indonesia. Good evening, email. Good evening, net. Now I'm here in Cleveland Heights by Echolink and getting some blips on my phone saying that times are up, but I didn't start the timing right. So I'm running a 3-minute time clock to kind of keep track. KATA, back to net control.
Hey, that's all right. Some of us is long-winded. Just remember, we break the repeater every once in a while. That's okay. All right. How about Vito, Alpha, Delta 8, Oscar, India, and I'm assuming you're +1 tonight.
Jasper in the air, +1. XYL sitting next to me.
All right, very good. Appreciate the XYLs hanging out and taking a listen to the net this evening. I always appreciate them being around. How about Drew? I think I heard you out there, Alpha 8 Delta Lima.
Alpha 8 Delta Lima.
All right, we got you in the books. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it. We'll try Jim, KE8 LFR. Well, he's either under a car or playing Papa Taxi. That's okay. Appreciate when he can get in, and hopefully he's doing all right, him and the family. Okay, we'll reach out to my neighbor down the road. We'll see if Frank is with us. KE8ZHH. All right, nothing heard there. He tried so hard last week, and he was just so close. We'll give him a shout today and see if he can reach out all the way up here from Ravenna Township there. W8 KNO Joe. All right, nothing heard. Maybe we need to get a few more leaves off the trees before he gets a clean connection in here. He's probably waiting another week or so for all that to happen. It's right around the corner, and we'll get some of those far out stations coming in, that's for sure. How about he came a week or so back. He's still on the list. W8VFD. Mike, are you with us tonight? All right, nothing heard. We'll reach out to Jerry, N3 EVT. Well, that's all right. He'll be missing out on tonight's discussion round. It would be a good one for him, so hopefully it'll be a good one for everybody. I think we'll enjoy tonight's discussion topic. In the meantime, let me give a call out to anybody I might have missed from the roll call or anybody else who would like to check in. If so, please give a holler out. KE8PVL.
Here is Kilo Echo 8, Delta November Fox.
Kilo Delta 8, Lima Hotel Radio.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Golf.
Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie. W8IJC Link.
All right, very good. Let me see if I got all this down correctly. I got Joe, KE8DNF. We've got you punched in the door. Thank you for joining us tonight. My good friend Sonny, KD8 Love Ham Radio. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you being here as always, sir. And then I got a couple calls I don't recognize. I got a KE8QWJ. Is that correct? That's, hey, I think I know that call sign. Coming in with the name, so I got you in the log.
Yeah, there, Nemo. This is Tom. Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Golf.
Tom, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it. Haven't heard from you in a little while. Hopefully your touring around the country is over, and you'll be sticking around for a little bit. Okay, we'll go out to this other call sign. I believe he's coming in through Echolink. Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Lima. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, it's Victor Echo 6, X-Ray Tango Charlie. I got my call in honor of the British band XTC that was popular in the early 80s. It is a nice day here, and it's the mid-80s Fahrenheit, and really enjoying summer. Anyway, back to you, Mo.
All right, very good. Well, thank you for checking in via Echolink across the pond there. Can I get a first name for the log? I apologize for that. I might have missed it.
Yeah, it's Bruce, Bravo, Romeo, Uniform, Charlie, Echo, and I'm calling from the province of Alberta, where it's a beautiful summer day, but we're expecting much needed rain for the crops, and there's some fires burning around as well, so we need that rain.
All right, Bruce, thank you again for joining us. I got you in the log officially now, and yeah, absolutely, we see the smoke from the fires coming across here almost every morning. They settle into the trees, and it's definitely been a thing for the last week for sure. They've been getting there, but thank you for all that and the concern. Appreciate it there, and for joining us this evening. So that's the list. I think I'm going to end up locking it in. XTC is a band. I'm going to have to look them up. I don't think I'd have them on the top of my head as what I've listened to. All right. One more call out to anybody who wants to check in, and then we'll get into this week's joke. This is KE8PVL.
Kilo Echo 8, Juliet Uniform India. Kevin.
Kilo Echo 8, Juliet Uniform India, KJUI. Kevin, good to hear you, man. Haven't heard from you in a while. Are you mobile, sir?
I am mobile, heading back to Charlotte.
All right, we'll try and make sure we put you on the list first. I'm not gonna alter the rounds for you, but we'll put you on the list first. So when we get to this week's joke, which is next, we'll make sure we call on you first. You're in the hot seat tonight, sir. All right, one more call out to anybody who wants to check in. Please call KE8PVL. Okay, nothing heard. We'll bring it up this week's joke, and we'll get right into it. This week's joke is, well, you know, I like to do things on a theme. So this week's joke is, what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club? This week's joke, what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club? And Kevin Mobile, KEJUI, you're in the hot seat tonight. So what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
I have no clue. Exit stage left. KE8JUI.
That would be after redisposing of the enemy. Absolutely, I appreciate that answer. And I'll write it in the log here. Thank you for that tonight, sir. But I don't think that actually references Frankenstein, so we'll keep on moving down the list. But it's still a good answer. We'll go up to KC8LAR. Jeff, good to have you with us tonight, sir. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
Oh, I think you might have a stumper. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club? I'm going to say nothing. He just did the Monster Mash. Back to that control.
Well, I can't take that as a stumper. You said something. Always a quick one. I thought I might have had you with this one, but that's okay. You did the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. We'll keep on going down the list. Dan, N8DRL, good to have you with us, sir, from the campground down there. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
Yeah, I don't have a clue, Nemo. You got your first stumper. And as soon as I listen to the answer, I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to take a shower and go to bed.
Well, I don't blame you there, sir. You probably spent a good day outside in the sun like I did, and definitely can appreciate that. We'll let you secure your station after the answer. I'll make sure to put you down as such. Thank you for that. We'll go to Ken, KE8YBN, over there in Andover. Ken, what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
I really got the thing about that. It was something like, hi everybody, I brought my own audience, some parts of everybody. That's the net.
All right, he made his own audience. I appreciate that answer. Absolutely. A little bit of everybody. Parts of column A, parts of column B. All right, Wayne, Alpha, Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet. Thanks for joining us, sir. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
Sorry, but I'm a little green under the collar.
All right, he's a little green under the collar. Got that one in there. How about K8TIE? Dad, good to have you with us tonight. Appreciate you being here. You sound great on the radio this evening. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
Okay, well, he took and apologized to his audience. I'm sorry, fellas, that I'm sort of late here. It seems that my volt was low. KTA, back to net control.
All right, he was low, absolutely, a little low. Need some lightning in there. How about it? Alpha Delta 8 Oscar India Vito. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
KE8OI here. You have the XYL answer for me. Push on the red. Back to net.
All right, because you know where you don't know where to go to, where fashion sits. I think I remember that song fondly. Dancing with a cane and a top hat. Very good with the putting on the Ritz there. How about it, Drew? Alpha 8 Delta Lima. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
Frankenstein told the audience, I'm going to leave you all in stitches. Back to net control.
Very good. Gonna leave you all in stitches. I like that answer too. Great answer there. How about it, Joe? KE8DNF. Haven't heard you in a little while. What did Frankenstein say when he stepped on stage at the comedy club?
Well, he said, good evening to everybody, and I hope you're in for some shocking humor tonight, and I brought some extra material for my original material for jokes. Yeah, there we go. That's my answer.
All right, very good. He brought some extra material. Well, I appreciate that one. How about it, Sonny, KD8LHR? Man, good to have you with us tonight. Glad you could join us. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
Yeah, this is KD8LHR. I believe somebody already said it, but I think you're going to all fall apart at the seams.
I don't think anybody said that one. That's a new one tonight, I believe. I could be wrong. My memory sometimes fails me. But falling apart at the seams, I like it. All right. Tom, KE8QWJ, good to have you with us tonight, sir. Glad you're back in town. And what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
He probably said, I'm not really myself tonight, but I'll have you bust the stitches for you in the night.
All right, I like that one. That's also a funny one. All right, we've got a couple new call signs in here. Bruce, Victor, Echo 6, X-Ray, Tango, Charlie, thank you for joining us tonight, sir. And what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
I think that when he got on stage, he asked where everybody went because the audience all ran out.
W8IJC Link.
All right, very good. His reputation preceded his arrival. I appreciate that answer. They all ran away. Okay, that's it. That rounds out the list as I have it. Before I get into the actual answer, is there anybody else who would like to check in? Please call KE8PBL and the Wednesday Night Jokenet.
KE8LFR.
Jim, KE8LFR, good to have you with us tonight, sir. Appreciate you being here. All right, man, you're just in time for the joke round. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club?
I don't know. Everybody do the monster mash.
Okay, we got 2 for the Monster Mash. Very good, like that answer. And one more time, I'll give another call out to anybody who wants to check in, and then we'll get into the actual answer. KE8PVL.
K8TI clarification. He came to the booth, came up on stage and said, my Chevy Volt needed a charge. K8TA, back to net control.
All right, still need that bolt of lightning. Either way, very good. And we got you locked in there for the Chevy Volt needs a charge. All right, this is KE8PVL for the Wednesday Night Jokenet. And what did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club? He said, I'm here to raise some spirits. That's what he said. What did Frankenstein say when he got on stage at the comedy club? I'm here to raise some spirits. Some of your answers made way more sense than mine, and you guys all came up with some great ones tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Let me take a quick break for time. I got to do some announcements, and then we'll get into why everybody's really here. All right, the area's District 10, Ashtabula County Emergency Services Training Net is every Monday night at 8 p.m. on this repeater. That's 146895. It has a standard offset, PL tone of 141.3, and an Echolink node of W8IJC-L. Please check in to the Emergency Services Net and lend your time, man. It's a worthy cause to do the area stuff and train for emergency services operations. All right. Ashtabula County Amateur Radio Club has a weekly net, not too far as distance goes, on their repeater over there, Thursdays at 8 p.m. 146715 is the frequency. They have a negative offset and a PL tone of 141.3. Also, they have an Echolink node, and you can reach that Echolink node at NHCT-L. Check in over there on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. They do a great job with their net, too. All right. Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula's monthly meetings are being moved to the second Saturdays of the month, still at 6 p.m. and still at the same place, 3600 Stanhope, Kelloggsville Rd in Jefferson, Ohio, at the Jefferson Conservation Club. Appreciate those guys for letting us use their facility for our monthly meetings. Man, we couldn't do what we do without them, and appreciate every bit of it. All right, Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula. Let me break one more time. That wasn't a break for timeout. That was a break to breathe. All right. Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula is setting up a special event station over at Pioneer Picnic. The 135th annual Pioneer Picnic is taking place the weekend of August 29th through September 1st. And we will be there with an event station and an information booth handing out amateur radio literature and stuff about our club and Aries and a bunch of other stuff. And we'll be operating under call sign KC8OH for the duration of the weekend. Swing by Pioneer Picnic at any time. It's 1809 Middle Road, and check us out. Give us a hand, pat us on the back, whatever you think is appropriate. Just please don't flip us the bird. That's all I ask. All right, that's it. Look for us on the radio. We'll be out there. That's the announcements I have currently. So I will get out of the way, and we'll talk to everybody else with what they've got going on, because that's why everybody's really here. So we'll reach out to Kevin, KE8JUI. Good to have you with us tonight, sir. What do you got for the group? Well, Kevin, I think you're mobile and a little too far away. I know you're heading over towards Chardon there. There's a bunch of up and downs, and I know I lose it right around 45 and Orwell right in that area, so you're definitely probably past that. But thank you for checking in tonight. I appreciate it. Hopefully you stick around a little longer next week. We'll keep you on the list, though. I'll give you a call out one more time when we're doing the discussion round, or maybe if we're done with this, we'll get back to you. Next on the list is I've got Jim, KE8LFR. Good to have you with us tonight, sir. What do you got, man?
It's good to be on the radio. I almost forgot how to operate these things. Oh, actually, this one's pretty easy because I'm in the garage where I live. Same old stuff. I'm on vacation, but everyone knows it's not really ever vacation for me. Between the pool, the work, and took Tommy back to the airport today to go back to California. So he was here for a week. That was cool. Other than work around the house, this pool and stuff, but that's about it. That's about all I got going on. KE8LFR, back to net. Oh, and I might not be around for the discussion round because I'm waiting for a bell to call, as usual.
Well, when we didn't hear you the first time, I just assumed you were being Papa Taxi. So appreciate you joining us, and thank you for being here tonight. Hopefully you'll be able to say something really cool during the discussion round. We'll move over to Jeff, KC8LAR. Good to have you with us tonight, sir. What do you got for the net?
Good evening, Nemo. Everyone else on the net? Not a whole lot. Working, trying to keep up with house chores, yard chores, and keep up with everything else we've got going on. So, trying to focus on doing a few things here to make it a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Energy efficient before the winter. So, just been knocking out projects as I can. So, other than that, not a whole lot going on here. So we'll toss it back to net control and let somebody infinitely more interesting give their take on life. Back to net.
All right, very good. Well, I think we all have something interesting to say and things that we do. I know today I was glad to be away from the heat a little bit, but wasn't as glad to be doing concrete in the basement. But hey, that's life. But definitely thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll move over to Ken, KE8YBN. Thank you for being here tonight, sir. What do you got? K8YBN, are you with us, sir? Well, maybe somebody in his HOA got mad and cut his internet connection. I hope that's not correct, but we'll go back to him a little later on and see if he's back with us. In the meantime, we'll go over to Wayne, Alpha, Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet. Good to have you with us tonight, man, and how you been?
Oh, can't complain. Just sitting here relaxing, trying to enjoy life. That's really about it today. Send back to net control. I'll tell you, yeah, you do that.
All right, very good. We'll reach out to Cleveland Heights. Dad, K8TIE, thank you for being here tonight, sir. I always appreciate having you on the radio. What do you got for the group?
W8IJC Link.
I haven't really planned how I'm going to get the stuff set up on this rather small lot here in the middle of Cleveland Heights. Like, even if I just said the higher of the high frequency bands, 20, 15, and 10 or something like that. I'm not sure if there's any place really close enough and has a long enough area to put up a decent antenna. Yeah, you can make small ones that are very narrow bandwidth, but make one sort of big so that it gives you options around to move around the band a bit. And it's a little bit difficult. And even the small ones, you get a lot of loss in them. You get lots of high current and small aperture area for radiating magnetic fields and stuff. So it's something that I'm kind of looking at what it's going to take, and also because of our illustrious environment, civil environment. I'm not even sure how much finances I'll have to play around with. I'm not sure. KTIA, back to net control.
Well, I have a 10-meter antenna here for sure, and I'm willing to bet I got something else sitting up here that I just don't even mess with, and I don't know where it is, but I haven't set it up yet. 10-meter antenna wouldn't do you much good anymore. You're past that now, so we'll. I know there's been some talk about what we can do, but I don't think anybody's come to a specific resolution yet. But I think we need to schedule a day, come out, survey, do some testing, and we'll check it out and see what we can do. In the meantime, let's move on down the list. We'll go to Vito, Alpha, Delta 8, Oscar, India, +1. Thank you for joining us tonight. What do you folks got for the group?
AD8OI here. Actually, I went back downstairs to catch up on some TV programs she's been watching, and I'm playing with some designs for some models I'm doing for 3D printing, and trying to get a little more acquainted with the software. It's a little bit having fun with printing stuff out. Get some accessories for my 710 and 2980, and a couple others for the HP as well, and some antenna winders. So, just having fun doing that right now. Back to that. Oh, I may have an antenna for you guys too. It just depends how much, what kind of foot run this.
it's half the battle, and half the battle is half the battle. Yeah, I was going to say something along those lines. And yep, 3D printing, that reminds me, I got to go over to Chris and pick up my little antenna that he built for my G.I. Joe guy. I got to make sure I get that done pretty soon here. How about how about Drew, Alpha 8 Delta Lima? Good to have you with us tonight, sir. What do you got for the group?
Well, the main thing that's kept me occupied the last week or so is that some of you guys know one of our pigs had a litter, and promptly for 6 of them, and we rescued the other ones, and we're hand feeding them, and long story short, there's 2 left, and they're in my custody now, so they require pretty frequent feeding. And they're teeny little things, they're so cute, I'm trying not to get attached to them, but it's hard when you're taking that kind of care of them. So that's kept me busy. My daughter is getting here soon for the period of time she'll be here for the summer. She's a college student. She's not here that much, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm probably going to try to get out to the rodeo at the fair here Friday and check that out. So that's pretty much what's going on for my Alpha 8 Delta Lima and the next call.
Oh man, the rodeo, I wanted to go to that too. I'm just not going to be able to. I got so much on my plate right now. I think that's not going to be in the cards. I know the Demolition Derby, I think, happened not too long ago too. This would be the first year in a while that I haven't gone to the fair for some reason or another. And man, I'd at least like to get over there for the finale and the tractor pulls. Maybe that would be something I could get in before it closes down. All right, we'll go over to Joe, KE8DNF. Thank you for being here tonight, sir. What do you got for the group?
Here's KE8DNF. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff. That's why I've been around for a lot of things. I was at the Ashtabula County Fair today. Pretty much got fried over there, and whatnot. And working on a lot of stuff and projects and everything. Still making stuff here at the house for online sale and everything else. So, yeah, I'm also working on things for Pioneer Picnic at the end of the month. I'll be going to the fair again on Sunday. I'll be going to the zoo on Saturday. So I pretty much have a busy weekend. So, yeah, that's pretty much all for me. I'll send it back to you in email. KE18F.
All right, man. Very good. Absolutely. I went to the zoo not too long ago over there in Erie, and I liked it. It was fun. We went for the lantern lighting festivals about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. It was good. It was good. And you definitely are being busy. That's for sure. But it'd be good to see you out and about. Absolutely. We'll keep on going. Hey, you know who's next? Sonny, KD8LHR. Good to have you with us tonight, sir. Always a pleasure. And man, my friend, I miss you being on the net on a regular, but it's good to have you tonight. What do you got for the group? Yep, KD8LHR, you still with us? All right. Well, hopefully he'll come back. I know last night I tried to check into his live stream on YouTube, and he was having some technical issues there. But I know that he doesn't have technical issues with his 2-meter usually, so hopefully he'll be back around. We'll put a little star next to his name, and we'll try him back in a few moments. How about Tom, KE8QWJ? Good to have you back, sir. Where you been, and what do you got for the group?
Well, their name of this is that's QWG as in golf. Yeah, I was got a call to go out to work, and they wanted me out in Fargo, North Dakota. So right after the net last time, about 2 days later, I had to pack up and leave. So I've been out there working and just got home late Sunday night. It's good to be home. beautiful weather out there. Come back, it's beautiful weather here. Good to be back. And that's about all I've been doing, just working. So, back to net.
Very good. I spent some time in North Dakota. It's a beautiful place. I spent about 2 weeks in Minot, and maybe it was only about a week and a half, and then I moved over to Turtle Mountain Reservation, right in the middle. Smallest reservation in the country. It's not even on a map, but it's you could walk to Canada from there. That's for sure. I had a great time there. I spent about 3 months living there, and that was awesome. Good times. But welcome back, and we're glad you're back, and hopefully you'll be checking in on a regular. All right, next on the list, we've got our friend Bruce here, Victor86 X-Ray Tango Charlie. Thank you for joining us tonight, sir. What do you got for the group?
Well, I've been fighting with my smartphone, and I hate it when it outsmarts me. So my brain is starting to smart from all that frustration. By the way, I feel sorry for a lady in China named Lai Ying, because no matter how truthful she is, she's still Lai Ying.
W8IJC Link.
All right, I like that joke. That's a good one. And man, I feel you on the smartphones. They only do what you want about 80% of the time, and the rest of it seems like it's completely random. Okay, well, hey, let's try KE8JUI again. Kevin, are you back with us, or are you too far away? Well, maybe I didn't push the microphone button that time. I guess it would help if I push the right buttons on my microphone. All right, KE8JUI, are you with us, or are you still too far away? All right, well, he's pretty far out there, so I'll let him go. Thank you for the check-in anyway, and we'll move over. We'll try out one more time because he didn't answer. Maybe he got reconnected here. KE8YBN, Ken, are you with us, sir? All right, well, I'm going to mark him down as station secure. We'll pull him off the list here, and but appreciate the check-in and for the time he's with us. All right, we'll move down the list. We'll try Sonny one more time. KD8LHR.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
That's all right, brother. We're in the discussion, or not the discussion round. We're in the comment round. We're why everybody's really here. What do you got for the group, man?
Oh, not too awful much. Going to be going to a park Friday. Not sure what park I'm going to go to. I might take a road trip and go down to West Virginia or maybe Kentucky. Or I may go up to Michigan and get the park up there. I want to try to get all the surrounding states. I've got PA, New York, and Ohio. So now I need West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, and Michigan. And is it Indiana? Yeah, Indiana, Kentucky, and Michigan. I want to get at least one park, get the activation done in at least one activation in each one of the states. And if I don't go out of state, let's see, I will probably go into Mosquito Lake there, and let me break for time. And if you haven't already, go check out my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on this Friday of a Kilo Delta 2 Hotel Whiskey Delta Eric and Fed antenna. and they are good antennas. Vito has one. Eric is donating one. He's given me one. He's actually given me 4 different antennas now, and they are really good antennas. Me and Vito used it on the last live stream at the park, and it did really well. I thought it did. I liked it. So I'll be giving that antenna away, and then I'll probably be doing another giveaway with another QRP antenna. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Net Control.
All right, very good. Racking up the points for taking Poda Boy on the road. And, Paterson's a good one to go to. It's not far. Auburn Lake is also another good one to go to. You rack those up too. I'm sure those would be good ones for you. And, man, I do wish that Squires Castle was on the list, because that would be just a beautiful one to get to. But, hey, we appreciate what you do out there. And, yeah, I tried to jump on your live stream last night, and you were having some technical issues, but hopefully you'll get those worked out, and I'll be able to jump on another one soon. Anyway, let's keep on. Well, that rounds out the list as I have it for the discussion, for the comment round. Before we get into the discussion round, let me call out to anybody who would like to check in. Please call KE8PVL. All right, nothing heard. Very good. Again, appreciate you guys being here tonight. So tonight's discussion topic, some of us have been in the radio field for a while in various forms. So I thought today would be a good day to make a little comparison. So my thought was things you miss from the quote-unquote good old days of radio, ham radio included. I haven't only been a ham for a couple of years, but so I was just thinking to myself today, I got the mobile in the truck, and we were driving down the road, and I didn't want to beat my horn, but I sure did want to flip the switch on my radio to the outside speaker and holler, but that wasn't there, and I kind of miss having a speaker, a PA switch on my radios, even though that's a 11 meter thing, sort of speak, and an old CB thing, but that was always fun to have, and I don't have that, and that's something I miss from the good old days of radio. So that's what we're discussing today. Maybe we'll start here with the list is just where it is. So we'll start with Jeff, KCA LAR. How about you, man? What do you miss from the good old days of radio?
Good evening, Nemo. Good question. Well, it seems that even this machine, that used to be active almost 24 hours a day, is being a little bit more quiet. I think a lot of machines are. I miss throwing my call out on any particular machine pretty much day or night, and somebody picking up. It happens now and again, but a lot of times calls go unanswered. So that's one thing I miss, and I think we're kind of all missing that at one point in time or another. Everybody who's got a mobile in it anyway. But that's what I miss. People there. So we'll turn it back to Net Control. This is KC8LAR.
All right, very good. I agree with you there too, and I am not without fault in that regard. We used to do the morning roundtable on the way into work, and that was always pretty cool. There's still a couple folks that jump in there, and I jump in there once in a while when I can. Sometimes I'm in and out of my truck, loading up gear, getting to the gas station, loading up gas and whatever else I might need for the day, and then it's usually not long before I hit the job site. But I'm usually by the radio in the mornings there, and I hear Chris K8YQL in the early afternoons. Right around 3, he's jumping in there, and yeah. This repeater used to be a lot more active. So did the 715. That's something I can agree with on missing. Absolutely. How about it, K8YBN? I think he secured his station. So we'll move down the list. We'll go here to Wayne, Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet. Thank you for joining us, sir. Things you miss from the good old days of radio.
I do concur with Jeff that, it's a little slower on the repeaters right now, but I think it's summertime. I think it'll pick back up come winter. That's just my take on things. But it's still, I still get on in the morning. Not on every morning, but I talk to Nemo, talk to Frank, talk to Bob. But, it's just, we're not as active as we used to be. I kind of do agree with them. But it's just, sometimes it, comes in phases. We'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully we'll pick back up a little bit, come the cooler months, and that'll be a good thing. That's really about it today. Everybody have a great day, and 73 Alpha Charlie 8, Yankee Juliet.
Well, hey, I do my part, trying to keep the finals warm on the repeater and the repeater in use, absolutely. But I really only have time to run one net a week. Probably could do 2, but I have another YouTube channel that I run, that takes some time up too. And between that and this, that takes, and work, full-time work takes up life, and that can be some of it. I'm sure we're going to be picking up a little bit more here in the wintertime. You're right about that. K8TIE, Dad out there in Cleveland Heights, thank you for joining us. As you can see, we are working on some ideas for you there to get you up onto the HF side. But in the meantime, things you miss from the good old days of radio.
Hello, KATA. Actually, back when I was doing things, it was build your own. That was what I got into. And I wouldn't mind a rotor and a 6-meter antenna. And if I had 10 meters on it, it would be kind of neat because I could take it and do all the terrible things that you could do as a 10-meter tech, violate all kinds of regulations. And then now, no problem. But I've noticed one thing. Break for time.
W8IJC link.
It seems everybody's gone somewhat lower power than was done. When I first got on, there were an awful lot of people that seemed to have kilowatts or something like that. Granted, there was not as much sideband around, but you heard stations that just you couldn't reach, period. Whereas right now I tend to think with the software-run radios and stuff, I don't know how many people are running kilowatt linears. One, they're not as efficient if they're linear, and that can be expensive hardware. So, whereas you get moderately inexpensive pricing for off-the-shelf stuff around 50, 60, 70 watts, which is quite enough for anything, even worldwide if you got an antenna that's halfway decent. So, in a way, I find it now sounds like it's a considerable improvement over when I got in, because so many people were determined to have kilowatts and stuff like that. I know we now do everything on peak envelope power, but it was the same thing. And I could hear stations from Florida and everywhere all around, but I could not get to them because I only had 60 watts. So, in a way, I'm finding that it's easier to get contacts now. KETI, back to negative KE8, PVL, and net, which is net control.
Well, I have some mixed feelings about that. Some of that is because the radios that are coming out now, they're all like 100 watters. I mean, for the most part, that's what you're seeing. And you're right. All you need is 40 watts in a wire, and you can pretty much talk to anywhere you want. But we'll get you out here on a field day when the bands are busy on a contesting day, and you'll hear them guys, even though they probably shouldn't be running that hot. I don't care what they say; they definitely are. So we'll get you out here on a contest day, and you can hear just how loud some of those guys can get. And I know a few guys local here that if they want you to hear them, you will. That's for sure. Anyway, we'll keep on going down the list here. We'll go to Vito. I know you haven't been in a ham for a long while, but I know you've been around some radio stuff. So Alpha Delta 8 Oscar India, how about it, man? Things you missed from the good old days of radio.
Alpha Delta 8 Oscar India here again, and you're right, hasn't been a ham long. Got my ticket last October 30th. Got a couple of call signs. So can't speak for the good old days of amateur radio per se, but I was in the TV for a little bit, back in the mid-90s-ish. And I'm going to agree with both you and Jeff. The PA on the radios, when you're going out, they're having some fun, inside the vehicle, and making some broadcast, but, communicating to the masses. And not as many people on there, even on TV. I got back on there for a minute last July, I think it was, and it's nothing like it used to be. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, there's not a lot of people out there, but it feels like, at least on the UHF, VHF, the repeaters aren't as active as I've heard they've been in the past. But, I mean, I've called out several times. Haven't heard anything back. And, yeah. So, back to that.
All right. Well, we can always fix that just by being there. But during the workday, I gotta be away from the truck. I will start trying to leave my radio on at home a little more often. I can do that part myself. And absolutely, at least for a couple hours a day. All right. How about it? We'll go down to Drew, Alpha 8 Delta Lima. Things you missed from the good old days of radio.
Well, I think just I kind of miss the world sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I miss the world where everything wasn't on demand. Because, like, my generation, Gen X, we have common memories of childhood. We all watched the same cartoons on Saturday morning. We all saw the same after-school specials. We all saw the Waltons and Little House on the Prairie and those sorts of shows, because they were on at a certain time, and that's when it was, and that's when it was only going to be. Let me break the time. Radio is the same way. If you wanted to hear all the great songs, you had to tune in to Casey Kasem or Dick Clark or whoever was the guy of your generation and sit there and listen, and then when your favorite song came on, you got to tape it. And I miss that too. Although, I have on my phone every song that's ever been made, so just the nostalgia. And then finally, the other thing I missed, I've talked about this before a little bit, I had a big shortwave radio that my dad brought back from Germany when he was in the Air Force, and I would sit up at night and listen to shortwave and like Radio Moscow and stuff like that, and I kind of miss doing that, and I miss that there aren't stations like that, the big propaganda stations from the Soviet Union, because it just kind of shows how old I am. Send it back to net control, Alpha 8 Delta Lima. Very good topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And right in there with your comments is mixtapes. You were mentioning listening to the radio and recording right at the right moment, just as the announcer shut up. And hopefully he let the song play all the way through, because otherwise you were reeling it back. But mixtapes for me, that's one of those things I miss. How about it, Joe? KE8 DNF, how you been, man? Things you miss from the good old days of radio. KE8 DNF. Joe, are you still with us? All right, well, maybe he secured his station. We'll go ahead and mark him as such. We'll move down the list to Sonny, KD8 LHR. Good. Thank you for joining us again, sir. And what do you miss from the good old days of radio? All right, well, maybe he secured his station as well. That's all right. That's all right. Appreciate him being here. I know his time is tight, so the few minutes that he gets to join us is much appreciated. How about Tom, KEH, QWG, Golf? I got you in there. I'm older and I can't hear so good no more, but what do you think? What do you miss from the good old days of radio?
Well, the best part, in my opinion, is years ago, everybody had a CB radio. My dad had a base station. All those kids, we all had one of our vehicles, and just trying to get out and yakking with each other and yelling for each other, and just different antennas. Some guys, they wanted the dual antennas on the back of their pickup. It looked pretty cool. We all hung a squirrel tail on each one of them, and it was just kind of a culture thing, and everybody had a handle, and it was just a lot of fun yakking, and get on the base station, see how far we can, yak away. So that was about it. Back to net.
Absolutely. To me, handles are way easier to remember than call signs. Uncle Bob or Big Joe Jim or Freedom Pie or whatever you want to call yourself there. That always seemed to be way easier to remember to me than the call signs are. But I pretty much have it down. That's all right. I appreciate it. All right, we'll reach out to Canada. Thank you, Bruce, for being here tonight. Victor Echo 6 X-Ray Tango Charlie. How about it? Things you miss from the good old days of radio.
Well, there's a couple of things I miss. One is having knobs and switches on the front of the radio instead of touch screens and nested directories. I hate those, and it seems like any new gear I look at on Amazon or wherever, it's got touch screens and it's all so complex. I miss the old days where you had knobs that did specific things and they wouldn't change, so you could get yourself used to the layout of the front of the radio and tune in and do that. And I used to be in CB as well, and
W8IJC Link.
And on the it was really a nice time. I made a lot of good friends. Of course, they've all gone away from me and whatever, but definitely I like radios with knobs and switches rather than touch screens.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel you on that. There's something tactile about that that makes it really cool. I know growing up, I used to play around on an old Hammerlin and listen on it, and that was my dad's, and that was always fun to do. And you get a little bit more of the wiki on it, you know what I mean, with the bad tuning. I got a Yaesu 101 sitting on my desk here, and I'm kind of, it's still in the bag, so to speak, and I've been waiting to put it up, but I think I'm going to be doing it pretty soon here. Definitely when I pass my next test, which I've been talking about for almost a year now, so I better get on it. I missed 2 of my own personal deadlines, so I should probably get it done pretty soon. And before everybody else chimes in and says yes, I know. All right, very good, Bruce. Thank you for that. And welcome to the net, sir. If I haven't already said it, we appreciate you being here, and we look forward to having you be a regular. This is KE8PVL with the Wednesday Night Jokenet. And before I put a bow on things, is there anybody else who would like to check in? Please call.
K8TIE. Just some comments here. That was a, that was a Hammerlin BC779. It had 30 tubes in it. Somebody who had it before me went and replaced all the IF and RF tubes with 7 and 9 pin miniatures, which had higher gain and lower stray capacitance. So they were that upbeat bit. But it was only single conversion. But it had enough selectivity in the front end tuning that it didn't seem to have too bad an image rejection. And you and I and everybody else around the family loved tuning in on that thing. It was good. We got a lot of use out of that. I wouldn't mind getting a chance to restore it, recap it and replace a couple of broken pieces of hardware on it, because that was a neat radio to have. Hammerlin always put out neat radios. Okay, TIE, back to that control.
All right, very good. Anybody else want to recheck before I wrap it up? All right, nothing heard. Hey, I don't normally say this too often because we usually have a good group of regulars, but I got a couple new folks on the net tonight. So I just want to say that every week I change the greeting to include a catchphrase that refers to a popular TV or movie show. I'm not going to repeat this week's catchphrase because some of you might have gotten it and you didn't say nothing, but that's okay. You're allowed to guess whatever that might have been anytime during the net, and those people who make the most correct answers over the month, I will send you out a Wednesday Night Jokenet coffee mug. It's just something I do on a pretty regular basis. So hopefully we'll get you guys back in here, and we'll get you a cup. I did send one out to a guy in Georgia just 3 weeks ago, only because he checked into the net via RF, and I'm in Ohio, so that was kind of crazy. All right, maybe that was a little more than 3 weeks ago. Well, it was 3 weeks ago I sent him the cup, but so there you go. All right, I'm going to put a bow on it. Thank you, folks, for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. This net couldn't happen without you. I'd also like to thank Tom, N8CT, for allowing us to use this repeater every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. for the net here. I'd also want to thank everybody who is currently serving and retired from service to our country. Your sacrifices will not be forgotten. This is KE8PVL. I am going to return the repeater back over to normal amateur radio use, whatever that might be. Be good to each other, everybody. KE8PVL is clear.